Good morning, everyone. I have a quote for you from Fairfield Porter. Look for the realism in abstraction and look for the abstraction in realism. And I think we were talking about that. Who was talking about going abstract? You know?
Me.
Yeah.
I can't
All right. And one other little comment I want to make about progress, because we all hope to have a trajectory that goes, straight up. But more often, Steve, you look at the screen here. More often, your trajectory is up, and then a little bit of a down slope, then up, and then a little down when you don't think you're doing very well, and then up again. So you're in this kind of loop going up. You do make progress, but there are moments along the way where you feel like you've backtracked a little bit. So don't get discouraged with yourself.
Or you get loopy.
Or you get loopy.
Yeah.
So here's my drawing of this artist looking out over a harbor, and obviously he's captivated by the greens and the boats and the water and all that kind of thing. I think the lights and darks on him are the strongest. The light hitting his shirt, the light hitting his smock. I'm not doing anything about that plastic bag. Those will be the lightest lights, and the darkest darks will be like the top of his hat and some other things. So we'll try to, and the distant headlands will be a misty green. It's almost like a grayish green, so we won't get too colorful there.
Looks like a misty day.
Yeah, a little bit of misty day. All right, so where do we start? As usual, we start light to dark, and I'm going to start just a little bit of tone into I'm just going to paint water across the entire top part of the painting, right into the headlands, right across that easel piece. But I am going to go around the hat, and I'm going to go around each of the buildings. I'm going to leave the buildings, at this point, white. Up around that guy. I'm not worrying about the masts of those boats. Bring this down here. Go around Ernie Bach's house up there. The big one on the hill, and I'm not putting in the water tower or whatever. Okay, go around this guy.
Yeah, I got it in.
Got it.
I'm calling for punishment.
And I'm not going to paint that roof of the house. Okay, so this is all water, and now I can just float. I think what I'm going to do now. There's a dog next door. I'm going to put in a line of. Hey there.
Hello, how are you?
Are you here to pick up artwork?
I am not.
Oh.
I am not. Is the business owner here?
Yeah, but we're in the middle of a class right
Okay,
now.
I didn't realize.
Yeah. I'm taking some raw sienna. I'm just going to make a line of the sand in the distance. I want to save that. I want to preserve it. I may do that path up there. If he had free money, I would have taken it. Jeez. Yeah, I don't. Up to no good, right? And this is a raw sienna. And I'm just doing that little bit of this little spit of land that comes into the harbor. Just putting that in now so that I don't forget it and I don't let my colors seep down into other things. Okay, so I'm going to take some alizarin crimson. Well, cerulean blue. I see it as a very kind of calm, limpid kind of day. Maybe the air is a little bit heavy with moisture. So getting the cerulean out, I'm getting a little touch of the alizarin just so that the cerulean doesn't look quite so sweet. Yeah, so it's a grayish blue. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I usually like to take the colors out of the tube, but always add something else to it. So it's my mixture, not the mixture of Mr. Windsor or Mr. Newton. So here I'm just, and since this is wet, I'm going to go right through. I'm going to stay away from that line of the sand, sort of. I'm going to go around these houses. Across here, around this. Look at this brush, Mary. Just swirl it around. And, okay, this brush holds a lot of paint. Okay, there's the little dribble paint. And
It shows darker on here.
Yeah, it does, yeah. It always does.
I think, do I want to go on to something? Well, let's pause right there, and I'll let you guys do a sky, and then get a little bit of that sand color in there, and we'll pick up again. So this is about a 5 minute. Joan. Welcome, Joan. I just put in a little sky color with cerulean blue and a little touch of alizarin. But you're welcome to do whatever sky you kind of like.
Yeah, I like your idea about toning the water, because now I can see where the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, no, really.
Well, I was watching myself on a video and I realized when I paint water for you guys, you have no idea what I'm painting. You can't
Right.
see.
Yeah, I like it. I'm doing it now, actually.
Did you get enough of it?
Yeah, it's old one.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Right over the roof. That's okay.
So it's just raw sienna on the.
Yeah, I could have put a little bit of red in it, but I didn't.
And your water is.
And if you put some horizontal brush strokes when you're doing your sky, it gives that,
And I believe you're staying away from the houses?
yeah, I kind of hopped over the houses.
The rooftops, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for the one that I just went over.
Yeah, that's what I did too, so. You're not alone.
Yeah.
top of my head. It's a process, Ned, that's what I do layers, that's what I do.
Okay, so you got kind of nice blue, kind of wet, and then blue, don't mess with that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with that at
Just
all.
throw that
I
nice,
just wanna put this like
sort of
right here,
nice accent.
just so that I,
Yeah.
yeah, gotcha. Yep.
Sorry, I'm behind.
Nice little drawing. So I walked this right down into the green. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. And then hop around the houses. Ah, very good. So the green will be, sure, yeah, darker than the blue. Yes. Very good.
Okay. That's good. I gotta do the, oh, I gotta do the beach. That's right, the beach. The beach, the beach.
And you were using cerulean?
I was. But you could use anything you want.
That's what I'm gonna do.
In your little world, in your little happy world.
Not his, not his. Heavens obligatory.
Yeah, I'm gonna fill this way up.
All right, but you're near my computer. But you're near my computer, everything's on the right, I'm so right dominant, it's terrible. Computer thing,
Are you lefty or right?
oh, I'm so right dominant, it's weird.
Okay, that's all right though.
Are you like a dominatrix or?
Ugh, I don't know,
Easy, yeah, what?
I'm not listening.
Mary knows him too long to know, not to pay attention.
No, I wish I, you know, to do that more. I'm a good driver, trust me.
I'm an excellent driver.
Much better.
Probably because of the bottle set. When you're breastfed, you're ambidextrous. Mommy, go right with mommy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard that one.
Go on, listen to the first Happy Meal, you know?
Oh, that's funny.
Evolve quickly.
And the purple sky, sorry, Ned.
Purple rain, purple rain.
Okey-dokey.
Okay, we're good, right? Great, good. Okay. Now, next thing I'm gonna do is do the water. Now, you can see from my drawing and the video you saw of my drawing, that I did not put in all those boats. I got a couple of them in there, but
Right.
some of them I just didn't bother with. So now I'm gonna put the water in. It's a little bit darker than the sky, but it's still a fairly light color. So I'm not even gonna put, not even going to pre-wet. I'm gonna go with ultramarine, right, and a little bit of raw sienna, which makes it a little bit more like a greenish blue. Okay, so we'll go right at the edge of that beach over there. Come down here. I'm gonna go around that boat. Around that boat. Okay. Now I'll get that color, I'm gonna pop it in right back here.
Sorry. I'm buzzing.
Okay, so I don't want this stuff to dry out too much, so I gotta go back and forth. A little more color. Now I am going to go and leave the top of that dock white. Okay, I'm not worrying about the spindles or whatever they are. I mean the piers. I'm gonna leave that. I may later make the dock something less than white, but at least for now I'm leaving it so I can decide later what I want to do. Okay, so I bring this down, and then now I'm just going to take pure water so I don't have a hard edge down there. Okay, I got to get back into here before I get a hard edge here. And I'm going around this little porch that's sticking out. I'm going around the pickets. And I'm putting pure, clean water right down in here where it will eventually be foliage. Again, so I don't want to have a really sharp line. I just want to have this sort of fade out. Okay, done. Yep. There we go. Okay, if I think I need a little bit more, I think I need a little more strength right at the distance. I'm going to put a little more of that dark blue. And because it's wet, it's kind of flowing down, which is kind of a nice thing.
And of course you dodged the boats.
I popped around the boats. Yep. Okay, so this is a good. Oh, I know. One last thing. Take a look at this. I am going to put in this fence that's in the foreground. I don't want it to be white, so it would be a little too harsh. But I'm going to put this light blue in here so that I'm reminded that these darn things are here. Otherwise, when I start painting green, I might just go right through them. So this, and I'll let them dry and set up. In fact, I'm going to paint a little bit underneath this house here because that's in shadow. So I'm just going to paint underneath that lip, underneath that eave. I'm going to paint a little bit of blue there. All right, good. Let it go.
Ultramarine and raw
A
sienna.
little bit of raw sienna. Okay, I'm gonna do the sand down here. I don't like that where that
So
line
that's
is.
sand, okay.
Well, whatever, it's something he's standing on. But then I'm gonna do this hedge right in front of the guy. And I see the top of the hedge is being very light struck, yellows, but the side where it's in shadow is really dark.
Yeah.
And I wanna get that in all in one hit. All right, so I'm going to wash in the sand with raw sienna. This is the yellowish brown. And Windsor red. Come on. And I gotta, since I'm not pre-wetting it, I really wanna hit this right the first time. I don't wanna have to do this twice. Add a little bit of red in there. There we go. You know, the biggest brush I have, and I'm going around the pickets of that easel. I think I need more color. This is where you just gotta be bold. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. I could even go through the shoe, but I don't think it will. I'm going around. I've got that tote bag down there from Boston Public Radio or something. There we go. Okay, so that, nothing tricky about painting. I may as well be painting the side of a barn. There it is. Okay, I've got some little accents of red in there. Okay, there, I throw a little bit more in there. Okay, now, and this is where you gotta stick around. So now I'm getting the New Gamboge yellow. And I got a big moppy brush full, okay? And here's where I'm just going across the top of this, and I'm trying to make it at the top as though it's raggedy, like the top of a hedge. This is just the New Gamboge. Nothing else is in it right now. And up right across here, boom, 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 boom.
New Gamboge and
Just New Gamboge, boom, 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 boom. There it is. And I'm flicking it up. I'm looking at the picture a little bit, but I'm not really watching. Oh, I'm not doing that one and then that one. And then there are a few places where the yellow comes down. And I put a little bit of that. Maybe put a little bit of that. So look, is this the abstract and realism? Like, this is what I'm doing, right? Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm gonna grab the cerulean. I really want cerulean in this. Cerulean blue in with the New Gamboge. And while this is wet, boom, 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 and the darks are just sort of in there. I want to make the edges a little bit raggedy. I'm going to come down along the beach thing or whatever, a little bit more. And you should never mix Van Gogh said, never mix a green without a red in it. Boom.
Well, he was a badass.
So that gives it some strength down here. Again, I'm going around this easel. Somebody taking a bath in there?
That's what happens when you make your 4-inch drain out of plastic.
So I'm using this really dark green. It's not the darkest I could get it. And there are a few places where I may put. Okay, let's reload. You think you got enough color to last you and you don't? And I'm trying to make my brushworks seem interesting. So I'm going to flick out, this hedge comes out into the sand in a few places. So I'll just
To break up the line.
just break up that line because I don't want it to look like a hard edge, like a ruler. Boom, 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 boom. There you go, a little down here. Okay, this is getting dry, so I gotta. What happened there? Okay. Again, I'm going around the handle of my bag.
Awesome. Wow.
Bag, and then I'm going up into the yellow that I left there. And so I just have this little sort of top edge of yellow, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to fake people into thinking that this is a hedge, but it's really just paint.
And that was raw sienna. The sand was raw sienna and loser,
Yep,
or something like that.
yep. Okay, and now I'm about done. I got to go around the handles of the tote bag, but
Oh, I didn't even put that in. Oh, well.
what, you didn't put a bag in?
I put a bag in, but I didn't put handles. I didn't see it.
It's a backpack.
Yeah, I know, I didn't see it.
I like the Boston Public Radio.
Yeah, the picture had a black backpack, and first of all, I didn't want to do black. And then I'm sort of thinking that this is a self-portrait, so I have a tote. Well, I got it right here, Steve. I got a little tote bag.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to stop there. You got this jazz of yellow, and again, you want to make these edges look a little bit ragged.
What was that? I don't have that color. What does it look like
What,
here?
the yellow.
That,
It looks like look at it here. It looks
Yeah.
awful, but then when you put it on here,
oh,
so do you have transparent yellow or
I don't know.
cadmium yellow? What do you have?
Yeah. It looks like ochre there, like,
I know. It looks terrible on
Okay.
there.
so.
So what yellow do you have?
I have two kinds.
Let me come look at it.
One's a cad and.
The cat ends up being kind of overtaken.
Oh, darn it. Oh, should have done that. All right.
Okay, so that's a pretty bold splashes of color and brushwork. Yep.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, at least in this photograph, you can't see the neck.
You see a tiny bit, but that's, it's up to your interpretation. Man. Yeah, it's a very tricky thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the hat that comes down low to the shoulders, and then, you just, I worry when I put in too much of a neck, or that the guy ends up looking like, or the guy or whoever, the figure ends up looking kind of giraffe-like. Sometimes you get.
How far down did the Cambodian go?
Kind of just vary it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just vary it. That's all you have to do.
This is what I got going on.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so then
I would say that's good, yeah.
But in your figure drawing class, you're also dealing with a nude figure, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's,
Yeah. So you'll see a neck in that. True. Yeah, yeah, no, you're right, you're right. Paint, don't paint what you see, but what you want others to see. Yep. Yep, exactly. Right. Yes, for sure. All right, let's move on. I'm going to do the headlands in the back around the houses. It's going to be a grayish green, so I'm going to use raw sienna.
The head, what do you call it?
Headlands,
Yeah.
raw sienna and a little bit of ultramarine. Oops, let me get some more raw sienna in there. Okay, so there we go. Okay. Is that grayish green? Yeah. Good.
The smaller areas, you wouldn't wet the paper first? Just
No, I just don't want to have all that moisture.
Yeah.
It kind of, I lose control.
Yeah.
I'm going around the houses, and sometimes I'm going to let the yellow of the raw sienna dominate, and sometimes I'm going to have the blue of the ultramarine kind of stick out a little bit. Now I'm going to right above the beach. I want to have a good straight line there. I don't want these houses to look all tipsy. So I'm just going across, and you can probably paint along with me, because there's nothing brushstrokey interesting about this. See the more blue. Hey, Pete.
You ready to come to paint?
Yeah.
No, I came to, I thought Ned was the only one here, and I was gonna share my tuna fish sandwich with him, but boy, was I wrong.
There's a dog next door you can share it with.
That's a lot of found friends.
Okay, I'm using a little bit of aureolin on this beach. I mean, this. Ooh, that's too bright. I see a kind of a lawn up here. This is Ernie Bach's house. He sells used cars in Boston, and he's got a huge franchise.
How's the hipster?
It's good, you know, I tested it yesterday, I tripped over a
Oh.
lawnmower, deck. But I was still able to recover myself before I broke my nose and took out my front teeth.
No.
It was
Dead gonna kill you.
Well, I was down looking at a job in Brewster, and this one had this big deck mower down the driveway, and I wasn't paying attention to that. I was looking out into the field. When I tripped over it, and I threw everything out of my hands. Somehow I was able to get my feet in front of it. Yeah, the hip did the job. It did what it was supposed to do.
Jeez.
He's one of the best surgeons in the world. You gotta give him that much credit.
He sure is.
Who's that?
Dr. Buck Calder over at Somers Orthopedic.
Huh?
Okay, kind of car does he drive?
How many cars does he drive?
Well,
Okay.
that's, it's funny you mentioned that because I had to go to wound care because I had a little bit of an infection. And the wound care doctor says to me, yeah, I wish I made as much as him because then I'd be able to drive around a Maserati. Now, the day I was there, my surgery was at 7:30 in the morning. And they're prepping me. And he comes in with his scrubs. And I go, oh, am I your first one? He goes, no, I've already done 2. I said, you must have been here at 4 o'clock in the morning. So he starts laughing. Now, this was in northern Westchester. I spent the night there. He comes into my room at 7:30 at night, still in his scrubs. I said, you're still here? He goes, I just did my 9th one.
Wow.
The guy has been blessed, let me tell you.
All right. While Pete, we're doing a recorded show here. While I got the I'm gonna leave the roofs light, but I'm gonna put a little touch of light blue underneath there, just taking down the. So I'm just having the roofs are kind of going to be highlighted. That's the only thing white left out there. All right. Oh, and then the last little thing is a little bit of little bit of green over here on that little spit of land. I'm going to get some more yellow in there. This is just going to be the new gamboge coming down. There we go. So we'll let that set up. And now we got to deal with these greens in front of the artist, and that's going to be the next big challenge. But let you get those distant headlands in. Have some yellows and blues. Keep it on the grayish green side.
Oops. I'll do it when I go home. When I go home, I'll have to do it. Son of a gun.
Okay. Now we're ready for the next trickiest area, and that is there's this hedge. Nice privet hedge that goes along the side of this house. I wouldn't want to be the guy on the ladder having to cut it every 3 weeks or something. It's got a light top to it, and then it's got some darks coming down below it. So we're gonna put that light in first, and I'm gonna use my lightest yellow is the Aureolin, and I may use a touch of ultramarine, but basically the sunlight hits this thing up here, get it good and yellow, comes down, goes all the way out, and I'm going to take it all the way out, and I see a little bit of it up in here, and I'm leaving it. So next I get a Aureolin and ultramarine blue. You know, it is kind of a straight line there, but it's fuzzy because I've got the yellow is still wet. And I'm taking this ultramarine blue, taking it right out. You know, it's a manicured hedge, so it doesn't have a lot of wispies on it. It doesn't have a lot of funny edges. It's really sharp. All right. Pull. What's that?
They're a lot of work, those things.
Right, there are a lot of work. I'm going to grab a little bit of alizarin, just to get it a little bit darker as it comes down. That could be too much. I'm going to take this right down. I'm going to go around. I have a little bush here that I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know why I bothered to put it in, but I'm going to go around these, the fence posts. Up around that.
So you started with a puddle of
Yellow.
Really
right at the top. Yep, right at the top. And this bluish green, I'm going to pull in right down underneath these pickets too, or fence posts. Wow. Went around the easel. Man, oh man. Now I've got almost pure blue on my brush, and I'm just going to use this dark to cut down into my foreground hedge. Keeping an irregular line there. Oh, I'm going to get this under here. Okay, I gotta do a little bit over on the right side, but then I'll be done. So, Aureolin, ultramarine. It's kind of a golf course yellow.
I should know what that is, but okay.
I do, I live right next to a golf course. See all the balls I collected already.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, they keep coming into the yard. Every time I go out there, there's another golf.
Is that right? Are they that bad?
Well, I'm right by the
Well, I know where you are.
it's the Dutcher golf course. It's the eighth. It's like I think it's right near the eighth tee.
Yep. No, I know just where your house is.
And
Oh.
Man, they just keep bouncing it. Got a whole bin full of alcohol.
Okay, so here's this.
You're a shagger. Is that what they call it?
Oh, man, you got that course, I think, attracts like the worst golfers in the world.
Maybe I should do it.
You play
Okay.
golf, Mary?
Do I?
bad brother froze.
What'd you say?
No, I don't.
And I'm gonna add
Okay.
a little bit of a brick color underneath this porch here. With raw sienna and Windsor red. There we go. Okay. Good stopping point. Okay, well now we're left with the artist and the house and a little bit of some details. Look at this bush down in the lower left. I'll deal with that later. We'll take a stop there.
If you have dried sky and you're doing the, the land next to it, and you just, do you wanna go wet and then blur, and then, or I guess it doesn't matter, it's, how do you connect it, so
Let's
here.
rephrase the question.
I have a dry sky, but then I wanna get those pretty little, things.
Yeah. Well, you're putting the land in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you asking?
Well, because it can get a lot of edges. Do I wet the whole thing and wait? Do I?
Your color of the distant land is darker than the sky.
Mhm.
So you're gonna take that land mass and go right up into the sky, like I would go right up to where that pencil
Right,
line is.
yeah.
I would put a little stronger color too. Like you could use
Alright,
any-
I'm just not confident about the shape of the drawing.
Okay. I see little hydrangeas out there, I'm gonna do it.
Oh my gosh. Don't look.
And then I'll do it later, once it dries. You know what I forgot to do is this, I'll do it now. All over the place today.
Okay, well, we got a lot. We still got the figure, and we got the house, and we've got to sort of move on some of this. So, smart
And
blue.
your point is?
Your point is.
Okay, I'm gonna knock off the roof of the house first,
Okay, the roof on the house.
and I'm going to use a little bit of a raw sienna and my Windsor red. I'm getting it kind of it's kind of gray in the picture, but I'm gonna make it feel like it's a little more sunstruck. Here, and we got so much green. The opposite of green is red. So to make this painting so it's not quite so greeny, I'm putting in this warm colored roof.
Oh, so of course green is your favorite color.
It's fine. There's only so much of it you can take, right? Okay. Now, now the guy has a smock that I think is almost the same color as his shirt, and he's got white pants, and like I said, I sort of see this as, if I were painting, I certainly wouldn't have white pants. So I'm gonna give him a blue denim smock. Okay. But there are parts of the smock that are gonna remain white because the light strikes it. So I'm just putting I'm going to take this, I'm going to do the knot in the back. And there we go. There's his smock. Okay. Now I'm going to see that, I think he's got a blue hat, like a same kind of denim-y color. I'm going to do this is ultramarine. Come right around there. I'm leaving the top of the hat so it has a little, I feel like it's sun splashed. Okay, there we go. There's his hat, and I'll put a shadow tones in that later. Now his shirt, I see is this is going to be a white T-shirt. I'm going to do ultramarine and Windsor red, or ultramarine, a little bit of Windsor red. Here we go. Okay, how's that look? Is that dark enough against the background? I'm putting it on here to see. Is it dark enough? Yep. Okay, so this is blue, a white shirt, but since it's out of light, okay, here's around his, up in his shirt, I see some of these. Hey.
To leave this, I forgot the keys
Oh,
yesterday.
fine,
And
okay.
that's the check.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
Was that the check for Doreen?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine, good. And the shirt continues below. I'm going to leave a little bit of white struck there. And then I see him as wearing khaki pants, so I see a sort of raw sienna, maybe a little bit of, here we go. And the pants have a little light struck there. Let's get some more khaki color in here. Okay, here's his pants. All right, now we got his legs. They're going to be a pale raw sienna. I'm going to paint him. I'm going to paint the legs, the light side of the legs. I'm not going to worry about the shadow of the legs yet. Put the shadows in later. This is sort of the flesh tone down here. And I'll do the same up. A little hint of it where the face is. Again, where the arm is. Oops. We've got a lot of darks to put in around here. Okay, while I'm down here, right down at the bottom here, I got little socks down here, dark ones. And then maybe a cerulean blue shoe.
So how'd you make khaki?
Raw sienna, I think.
Raw sienna and
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And while I have sort of some wet color down here, I'm going to do the shadows coming out just because I want to get a blurry thing. I'm going to do the shadows coming right out from there. Let's get it more blue. There's the shadow blending right in with the base of the shoe. There's that shadow. Keep it interesting, and then I got the shadow of the bag coming out into the sand. And then the inside of the bag. How are we doing there? Okay, so I've got the figure in, and I've left some lights on the smock and on the shirt. And I'll pause there for, let you catch up a little bit. Yeah.
The hat,
What?
the grass behind his hat, at the tip of his hat is taking all the red, because it's not dry enough. No.
Don't panic.
I know.
Come off of the ledge. All right, so the shadow part, that's stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of left
That's whatever's laying around.
whatever's on the far left edge of his arm or pants or smock. I kept it white. I can always darken it later if I think it looks too crazy.
All right, well, that's lovely.
Hmm?
I'm gonna do what you did, like a purpley blue. I like that. It's nice. See where this was not quite dry, but what I'll do is I'll go over, touch it when it dries.
Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried.
Yeah, and when you start doing this down here, let that red seep into the whatever your purple color is.
Yeah, I guess I can do that. My brain doesn't work that way. I gotta try and change it.
You're like, oh, I gotta fix it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, that's it, yep.
You gotta start remembering that accidents make art.
I know.
You know that.
I do. Okay, that's nice.
I remember one of the teachers getting so mad because we had a figure and we had a chair. So here you have their feet and here the thing. And he got so mad because a lot of artists couldn't put the feet in perspective with the thing.
Into the chair?
So he got so mad. I never saw a teacher like, I can't believe you can't.
No kidding, wow.
So I do.
How dare you?
Well, it's interesting because you learn about your plumb line with
Yeah.
sculpture, the
Oh,
weight,
yeah.
and figure the weight.
Right,
And I couldn't do this from the head down. I went to the feet first and went up.
Hmm.
So it helped me
Mhm.
round and point out other things.
Mm-hmm.
It just gives you another way to
Mhm.
think and style.
So did you cry or did you throw something at him?
No, he pouted and he left the room.
Wow,
wow.
that's real professional.
Yeah,
He
it
was
sounds
a philosophical guy. He ended up doing religious icons as a,
very vague.
Yeah, we're thinking.
forget his name. Well, very interesting. So many.
Too much for me.
Okay, I'm gonna move along because we have, there's a lot of just sort of touch-ups and details to do. I want to do the easel itself, which is
Yay.
one of my favorite parts. Yeah, right? And I'm going to do a little bit of raw sienna and burnt sienna. And that'll be that nice wood color. And on some of the legs, I'm going to leave, well, let's see how this works. Leaving a slight white highlight. I'm not really, no, I don't think it will. I was going to do that, but I think it's too. Yeah, some of this under here I'm going to darken. I'm going to put another layer of color. Okay, now I need to do that. You know, his painting itself. I'm going to leave a white edge on his canvas. This is his sky, which is kind of a grayish blue. Yeah, sort of the same headlands we were painting, he's got in there. That's right where his finger is now. And the bottom part is a fairly light color. All right, now we're gonna get that chimney in, kind of a brick raw sienna color. And I'm gonna take some ultramarine blue and knock down those whites there. Here's a and then right against the house here is a really nice green tree. And so I'm gonna raw sienna and ultramarine. I'm gonna do this very expressive windblown tree in here to cut in and around the house. Just a little bit of all right, get that. And then while I'm out here, I may as well do my pilings. The edge of my dock has a line. And then right under the dock, there's sort of a shadow line too. Okay. Okay, I'm putting in some shadows on this little railing here.
Sounds like such a big attack dog.
See them? Cute.
She's
Is he-
cute,
yeah.
She's adorable. Yeah, no.
All right, I'm going to paint the shadows on his arm. I'm going to watch the photograph pretty carefully here for that.
I don't think I'll be finishing this when I get home.
It's like the Hatzela driver.
It's like what?
The Hatzela drivers, they're always loud. One of one of the train engineers is particularly
Oh yeah.
obnoxious. Rick Gilstack pointed that out to me.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he goes, and after a while you can go, oh, okay, he's on duty.
You know, it's funny, because I hear it all the time, obviously, and I definitely notice differences in the way these guys,
Yeah.
there is supposed to be a sequence that they do, but you all do it differently, so.
Okay, yep. And I am doing the dark of the easel here against his arm. Come on, let's get a bigger brush. Let me get the burnt sienna, the ultramarine blue. Paint that in here. This is a nice dark against that sun-struck smock. Then the part of the easel that's not in sunlight is also dark. And on the legs, a little bit underneath. Dark under there, and then the legs, I'm gonna give a highlight of dark on these.
Okay, back to this.
Okay.
Did you do the Charleston Public Radio bag? No.
Yeah, I did. I put a little shadow on it.
Oh, okay. Very little shadow.
And now all that's left is a few shadows. A little bit of shadow on the fence. And a
Public radio bag is gonna get some blue.
little shadow on the hat coming off of here. Last thing, we put in a few windows underneath here. And as I'm looking at this, I think those distant roofs are too white, so I'm just going to do a little touch of raw sienna and maybe a little bit of red, and just take them down a little bit so they're not quite so bright. I'll save that to the end. I want to reserve judgment on that until the end. And then this dumb little bush down here, which I forgot to do before.
How about some splatters on the dirt?
Yeah, we could do splatters on the dirt.
Well, floats your boat, you know?
I have to do that when I get home. I keep forgetting to pack a spare toothbrush.
Okay, so, I have to do the top of the easel. Right. Let's try that.
Okay, I'm putting a slight dark side of the chimney. There we go. could always splatter. We could always just put it in the bathtub and start again. Hi, Doreen. Doreen, you have a check over there? Oh, check right here. Oh, a set of keys. And I need to put shadows on the legs, and then I'm done. Burnt sienna, I think, with blue. Okay. I think that's about where I'm going to call it. Again, it's just going around putting a little bit of shadow here and there on picket fences, on the edges of the easel. I've tightened up some of the shadows on his leg and pants. Didn't get too tight in the shoes, that's for sure. And that dock is still white. I don't know whether I want to knock that down or not. Let that sit now. Just a touch of water to bring that down. Okay. Yeah. Hearing nothing. I'm going to end the recording here. No, end the recording.
Oh, come on.
That's-
Oh, come on.
I'll be back next week. I just like,
What's wrong? You're fine.
well, my color mix is wrong. I mean, look at that. It looks like a little cabinet. I couldn't do much with this.
Okay, keep this, okay, so you wanna keep, you see how this is painting.
No one's saying goodbye.
Okay, see you later, Karen.
Bye-bye.
Keep an edge there,
Bye.
keep the edge of the canvas.
Those are
This will
changing.
be the, you know, the kind of colors that he has in there. They're in shadow, so they're not gonna be very bright. And you're gonna have a shadow coming off his hat, coming off down.